Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Quickfire Fireside, where we rapidly interview awesome people from around the co-working world. Today, I'm joined by two brothers, Robert and Jack from Habu. I'm calling in from a co-working space here in London, and they're calling in from a co-working space in Bristol. So let's get right into it. Gents, when did Habu start, and what did you two do before you got into Habu?
So I think the best way is taking the second part first, which is what did we do before? So Jack and I are brothers, and we've been working together since 2008. We ran a design practice that was multidisciplinary, focused on a whole range of different things related to sustainability and whatnot. But we were based in essentially a very early stage, humongous co-working space. So essentially 15 floors, 50,000 square meters. It's now full of like 400 type members. And over the course of our years in working for our design practice, we essentially started seeing some of the structural issues that come with managing a big space and how varied that gets. You start building a big team. And they were basically just looking at off-the-shelf platforms that are out there in like sort of 2012 type time. And it wasn't really suited to what they were doing. And it was quite hard to find options in the market. And being, enterprising types of guys who don't write any code, we thought, let's build them some software. So that was kind of the roots of where we started with Habu. And Jack will probably carry on a little bit more.
Absolutely. So it's 55,000 square feet, not meters. Quite a size difference there. But it was really just managing flexibility became very complicated. So many different moving parts. When you're running event spaces, 100 or so offices, 120 desks, I think it is. It's just so many moving parts, and old-fashioned software just wasn't cutting it. We were quoted $60,000 a year for the thing that looked the most sensible for us, and being ambitious people, we thought we could build it better, and that's our journey into Habu. Started in 2012, but it really took until 2014, 15 to kind of firm up the idea, get the backing, and turn this into a real company.
That's awesome. I mean, since 2015, we've obviously seen like the co-working, this sector for building software for the co-working sector has kind of got really full of different options. What really differentiates Habu from everybody else, and who's it for? Who is the ideal customer for Habu?
It's really exciting, the kind of world of co-working software. It's like there's now quite a bit of choice out there, and this is because the market has just been growing, and everyone's kind of coming at it in different ways, trying to solve the problems in their own unique way. So where we're coming from is that we want to essentially automate as many of the boring processes as possible for the administrators, at the same time as creating really slick, user-friendly experiences for the members, and actually all people connected to the co-working hub, like your potential members, casual users who just pop in, people who are there for events, and I forgot the other part of the question, but
what is the ideal space? Who's the ideal customer for your type of software?
So we really relate to the independents in the market. We think there's a lot of really interesting innovation happening with them, but we've seen a shift in the market where the methods of independent co-working is being adopted by much bigger companies, and they're kind of systematizing and kind of refining the different ways that the independents are doing things. So by us kind of aiming for building a product for independent co-working hubs, it was essentially as if we were moving to where the ball was going rather than where it was, to kind of use a football analogy there. So our product, the kind of sweet spot for it, is really anyone who manages space needs to understand who's doing what, where they're doing it, how much you charge them for it. I want to create a good experience for everyone there, basically. So next year, we're actually going a little bit more into enterprise. And we're being picked up quite a lot by hotel chains wanting to create networks of co-working spaces. Really, like this co-working model is being taken into in a lot of different places, and we'll be there with kind of wherever it goes.
That's awesome. I mean, we've seen that 2017 has been fascinating for the co-working world, but it's also been a great year for you guys. What's been your shining moments of 2017?
Yeah, there have been lots of really good ones. Most recently, we were part of the top disruptive companies in the Southwest, which was super cool. So we got to give a lightning presentation and present alongside some really big companies in the region. So it's really fantastic to get recognition for the work that we're doing, not just within our field, but actually for the way that we approach technology and our tech stack. Because I think we have a really innovative way of approaching that. It gets people excited, and we obviously get excited by that too. We recently closed a round of seed investment, which is really exciting for us because it means we can expand our team, and it means we can just keep making our vision, or keep developing our vision. So there are a couple that jump out for me. I'm not sure if there are a couple that jump out to you too.
Yeah, there are tons. So like, for instance, this little period, it's been a little bit crazy for us. Since we landed our latest seed investment, there's been quite a bit of attention from kind of big operators in both in Australia and the States, and we're also trying to negotiate some deal with a kind of large corporation. So there's kind of getting that attention on our company. We're essentially based out of Bristol. We're a small team. We do everything in-house for kind of good reason. And to be getting the attention of people all over the world, and the fact that we actually picked a market that we knew was going to grow. This felt like it was just the model of working for the future. And I think it'd just be, it's one of our successes is actually just taking something that was written off as being too niche. It's very hard to pick up money to build software at the beginning for co-working. But this is changing because of so many amazing hubs around the world opening up and kind of showing where this market can go.
Yeah, definitely. We were both, all three of us were kind of at the co-working conference over in Europe, over in Dublin, and we saw just this huge growth, this huge excitement. But you guys were also in the unconference session where we kind of discussed with around 30, 40 different operators about, the topic was kind of nicknamed WTF is wrong with co-working software, which is really insightful to get people to kind of share their pain points. Out of those sort of main pain points, what can we expect from Habu in 2018? How are you going to be addressing some of the problems with regards to UX and interconnecting software? I mean, what are you guys working on in 2018?
Yeah, it's a great question, and first up, really good work for organising that session. It was really good. It was really beneficial, not just to ourselves as a co-working software company, but the other companies there and the operators. It felt like a very good, almost a bit of therapy, something like that. So it was very nice. I think a couple of things that were highlighted to me in that session were, frustrations about integrations and frustrations about software being too complex and doing too much. And I think there's probably tackle it doing too much first. And I think it highlights our approach to software. I think that frustration is very real, and we've experienced that in looking at other kinds of software. People are just trying to do too much stuff, and I think it's unfocused. And I think one of the reasons for that is that we speak to co-working operators every day, just as everybody else does, and you end up with this huge list of features. I want it to do this, I want it to do that, and can you make the tea for me as well? And I want it to be really simple. And people don't, because they don't have the big picture when they're thinking about how software works. They're not thinking about the next person using it. The easy option is for a software company to say, we will do that. Yeah, of course. And you end up with chaos and very messy systems. And I think one of our underlying philosophy is keeping things simple. It's what we advise co-working spaces. It's what we tell ourselves every day to rein in our instincts to try and do too much. And so what we do is we listen to the people that we're speaking to, we collaborate with them, and we also have our vision. But I think there's also expectation management that comes into that. So just as a co-working operator or like a co-working manager needs to have expectation management with their members, they don't want to do everything for their members because they're not receptionists, they're not this, they're not PAs. There is that kind of relationship with the space, and it's like the open transparency, great communication that comes into that. We have very good relationships with our customers for that reason. So for 2018, people can continue to expect that approach to keeping it simple, because that's already what we do. That's why we do what we do. We're now working on the member experience. Like, it's all about that at this point in time for us, making sure they have really great digital experiences, but not in the sense that we're building the Slack or Facebook of co-working, because they're like Business, Hilo, and these other great companies are doing the social side of things. And we don't want to be like another Yap, yet another platform as it was brought up in the session. So we're just solely concentrating on the functional aspect, making it really easy for members to navigate through the space, make their bookings, manage their accounts, do the practical stuff, and do that really easily and really seamlessly. And after that, we can concentrate on integrations. We need to have a really good base before we can do those integrations, because otherwise I think we're making our lives difficult, which means we develop more slowly, but we're also making our customers' lives more difficult because we're not providing the right kinds of integrations with the platform. So I think people can expect us to keep consistent to our really solid, simple approach.
So we just had our team lunch. We have pizza every Friday here, and we're actually chuckling amongst the team about this simplicity focus. And our developers are like, it's not simple. And the truth is, like, the way we see it is that we solve the complexity, and the solution is simple. But the problem, the domain, is very complicated, and that's why we have a role to play in this world. And we do a lot of things, like we have an adaptive interface that hides different things that aren't necessary for your workflow as a business. So if you don't do something, you don't see it, and that means that the tool can be used very consistently across the team. So someone's not there, they know exactly what's going on and can kind of take over and be a dynamic kind of workforce. So what you can expect from us next year, in terms of actual hard, real features, is we're taking the user experience to a whole other level. We're bringing in some really deep analytics, because this stuff needs to go kind of beyond reporting. We need to be able to actually pull out some deep insights and help people optimize the way they run their business. We have migrations from other platforms coming into the mix. We have an assortment of stuff kind of in the works, but we're going to continue to just nail the core problems that we hear from co-working hubs.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounds really exciting. I can't wait to see how you guys progress into the new year. Obviously, any co-working space that is looking to use Habu, you guys do give a discount through Included as well. I'll put a link to that at the bottom. And we look forward to catching up a little bit later in the new year, and seeing how things are going. Keep up the great work and keep making the Southwest proud. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll chat again soon.
Cool.
Great.
Thanks, Hector. Have
Cheers,
a great
Hector.
day.